Welcome to Eventful Endeavors, secrets to crafting the perfect celebration. If you're planning an event and looking for useful tips from industry experts, you're in the right place. So get ready to take some notes and we'll dive right in. This is Eventful Endeavors.
Hello, I'm Jake Carter with Felix and Fingerstooling Pianos, and I am here with Jill and Scott with Aloha Growers. You guys are event planners, musical promoters, business-based branding, marketing, and artist management, and talent buying agency founded in January of 2021, so that was a post-COVID thing, by award-winning designer Scott Johnson and Dog Tone Design along with his marketing partner Jill Mayo. Combining their years of experience in their respective fields, they've created a boutique powerhouse management and marketing agency that provides booking and media services to help artists and businesses grow. And I've come and seen your shows. That's why we know each other, because you guys put on awesome shows. So amazing. Thank you so much for joining.
Made it to a pretty special show, actually.
I've been to, oh yeah,
Paul
that
Simon.
is true. Yeah, I've been to a handful of them, but yeah, I got to see you guys had a Paul Simon show. That was amazing. I didn't think it was real, honestly.
I didn't think it was real either.
That was such a crazy night. I got that text and they were like, hey, Paul Simon is playing at a bar like a quarter of a mile away from where you're sitting right now. And I was like, no, he's not. Like, you're a liar, you know? And then I was sent the screenshot with someone that had texted you personally. And it was like, no, Paul Simon is playing. And I was like, okay, closed out my tab and I drove up the hill to that location. Absolutely awesome. That was super cool. I was actually my story of that is I was in Paul Simon's way when he was trying to get to the stage and he was like, hey, can you? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. So that was amazing.
Right.
Super cool. Do you guys want to say anything about your history and bio before we get into some of the questions here?
Really? Yeah, I mean, we kind of started we started Aloha Growers in 2020. But it was like official in early 2021. So
I mean, you could tell them why it started. It started to help farmers.
Well, no, it started because I was growing a garden. In COVID. And I realized that growing a garden is a lot like online marketing. It requires a lot of tending.
Okay.
And there are certain elements that I was like, oh my God, I don't particularly care for this part, but I know what it does to the garden. And so I was like, oh, this is like sending out an email blast, right? Or like, there were just things I could correlate it to my everyday job. And I was like, oh, Aloha.
Soil to watering to sunlight, to insects to mold to.
So what exactly is the mold in the part here? I'm curious.
Well,
we live in haiku.
Marketing, you mean?
Sure.
Or in the garden.
I was thinking of event planning, but I mean, whatever way you want to take that question. I was curious who the mold is, but
oh, well, for me,
obstacles.
The mold would probably be when you go into the back end of your website and you see there's like 10 updates you have to do. And each one could be kind of scary because you never know really, it could mess a little things up. So an update could take a little bit longer than you expect it would take. So for me, that's kind of like my moldy situation.
Yeah, for sure. And it just keeps growing in the dark in the back of the website and causing problems that's amazing. Yeah. Wow.
An opening band that may not want to get off the stage to let the headlining band have their full set.
Yeah.
Very mold-like.
Yeah, very mold-like. Don't be mold, okay? That's what we're learning.
You gotta remove it somehow.
Awesome. So what are some things that you guys are seeing that are popping up with shows and events? What are some current trends that you're seeing that are new or different?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I know like what we do, we're trying to be trendsetters. So ideally for us, a great show might be something that's not happening all the time, or a performance that's put together special that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's something that sells better. Be supply and demand in a sense.
Yeah.
Out here, like we live on Maui, and the economy is a little rough right now. We're also dealing with the fires that happened here and what's happening with that. So I mean, like trend wise, it's hard to put a finger on what's happening out here. But I can say like what we're trying to do is to try to create some different stuff, try to utilize all genres of music, and create entertainment that's anybody can enjoy.
I've really seen a lot of artists step up and put together something specific, like
a show,
and that's really cool to have them put together something that maybe they'll just do 3 times or something, here and there, or whatever. But it's something unique and different, and that you're maybe not going to get again. So it could be one of those things where it's like 10 years later, you're like, remember that show? So and so got together, and we've never seen them again together, and things like that. It's just unique.
So I mean, you're like, I'm not ready to answer that question, but I feel like you answered it perfectly. The trend that we're seeing is with the fire and things going on, people are teaming up and pairing together, and you guys are definitely promoting that with Paul Simon, Lily Miola, and the whole group of people that were up there. That was such a cool show, and I don't think that that's something that happens regularly. So
right.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
Maui's one of those places. I won't just say Mulligans, but we've had a lot of guests that have popped into Mulligans, which we're very fortunate to have had happen. But Maui, there's a lot of people here that are famous. Lots of musicians here, and everybody's kind of chill with them, which is always a good thing. It's not uncommon for Steve and Tyler to pop in through a kitchen or a window or something, and there he is.
Yeah, and it is people are cool with it, and it's kind of when I was talking about that, I was not sure if we wanted to say the exact location, because I was like, I don't know if we want to tell everyone about where this happened, but there was a bar that I went to. Yeah.
It's the Mulligans Music Box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys have great programming.
Thank you. I think we came into Mulligans, and we're making slow change to really create a legit venue, which is exciting.
Which it has history there, so there's a lot of history there.
Since you've been there, we have a full stage now. We have more lights. We have pipe and drape behind the stage now. Like it's actually we've evolved in the last 4 or 5 months, which is great.
Is there always pipe and drape, or is it only for some shows?
There was nothing. It was the green wall with a lot of things.
Well, we did have pipe and drape. The Lamonts came in and did a really cool production. And
because I was just there the other day, and I don't remember. I remember seeing the wall with all the things, and so is it for every show, or is it just sometimes?
We installed it now, so it'll be there.
2 days ago, or was that yesterday?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think. Was that yesterday?
Yeah,
it was yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So this is very recent.
So, but we've had pipe and drape there in that area before when the Lamonts did. Were you at the Lamonts by any chance?
I wasn't at that show. No.
No. Great.
This is going to make the pictures look so much better, though. I don't have to try to fix all the poster things behind the people. So great, interesting. That is an interesting thing. We are seeing shows like that. What are some cringeworthy things, or like things that you don't like seeing, such as the mold example? What are some things that happen at your shows that you're like, no, don't do that. Please don't do this thing.
Well, on Maui, we have LC laws, so it's kind of like there's a lot of cringe things where you have to keep in control. So,
please do not take your alcohol down the stairs.
You can't dance with a drink in your hand at all, anywhere on the dance, anywhere, and you could be slightly dancing And so that's kind of a thing. So we have a lot of visitors from other states that they don't have the same rules and regulations like that are very strict. And so it's totally kind of a foreign thing to have to explain to them. And it's almost like you're the bad, it's frustrating to have to deal with that. So
if I can turn that around, we toured for a couple of years and we went to a lot of really cool venues, and we were treated, everyone's different depending on how they treat you, even with hospitality, to green rooms, to how the sound person treats you, to everything, the whole big picture. And we went to a lot of amazing places, and like we came back with the intention of actually making good things happen, to try to utilize some of those, to make sure artists get paid well, to make sure that the marketing's done by the venue, because that's always a conflict of, musician, venue, kind of like, oh, you're not doing enough to sell my show, and it's like everybody's kind of got to do their job, and ideally like help even to develop talent, where bringing maybe like a $5 show in or a free show in, but get somebody like, wow, okay, I can build an audience, and then audience starts building, and next thing we can ticket a show and they're making more money. So like we really wanted to kind of take some of the stuff that we learned and the way we were treated by some people and like bring it back to Maui and try to find a venue we could work with.
Yeah.
Which happened at Mulligans. So not too much bad stuff. It's not difficult to make a situation really positive.
Yeah. I mean, I can think of all kinds of things that are cringeworthy moments of performers, and like one is dropping microphones. That's always a cringe for me. That's the first when you think of just like shows. It's like, do not drop the wireless, please. It's not that hard, But also, like you just mentioned, the liquor laws. I feel like you guys probably deal with explaining that to your performers quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because I know I deal with that a little bit too, where I have to explain to people, I'm like, please do not encourage them to dance with alcohol. Like, you cannot do that. We also cannot drink. There is, like you mentioned, there's some weird things, and people are always looking at me and they're like, what? Why?
Right.
Isn't that the whole point? And I'm like, well, not in Maui.
Archaic.
Yeah, it is. It's very different. So I totally understand that. So, like you said, to flip it around, what is like one of the coolest things that you've seen at shows? Something that someone's done that was surprising or really unique or fun, and you're just like, that was a great moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of a few things that were fun. Everything in the power outage, that was fun.
That was fun.
We the McKenna grid, which is where Mulligans is on, that power grid, went out one night, right at the start of a second set of a band, and it was Troll from the Maui Pranksters bringing a bunch of San Francisco players out, dead players. We had Phil Lesh's keyboard players, Scott Guberman, and a couple other players, and it was an amazing band, and the power went out. And that was a moment of like, okay, this could be really bad or this could be really cool. And it turned out to be a great thing. These guys just went in and started playing the drums. All of them, the whole band, just started playing percussion and drums, and the phones came out, the lights on the phones came out. Everybody just started dancing. It turned into like this amazing like drum circle dance party. And it went on for a while. The power did not come back on for like a day, so like everybody left that night pretty happy. It was pretty fun. Yeah, that was a cool moment.
Yeah. So if you can just force the power to go out on one of your shows, also have musicians that are ready to adapt really fast, that's a great.
I have to say the biggest positive that comes out of a lot of this stuff though too is because Jill and I pretty much we work these shows. And we meet people from all over the world that are tourists, and we meet locals that are all like, when we get that positive feedback after a show, like, wow, that was great. They're amazing. Especially it might be some young talent like a Kenny Blue, who's a young guitar prodigy, or just something different that they never thought they would have. Maybe they just stumbled on a show,
Mm-hmm.
Rowdy Love.
Yeah.
Like,
Body Love.
We
was
get so
really-
much feedback. They're a rockabilly kind of Americana band, and we've got like all ages from, you know, people from Alaska, from Canada, just like, oh my God, when are they playing again? You know, I'm only here for a couple weeks. It was like pretty cool to hear all that good feedback. That's the
Yeah.
positive. That's the good
Yeah.
stuff.
That is good stuff. I fully
Yeah.
agree. That's awesome. It is always fun to find those people and have those moments. And I feel like Maui's really a good place for a lot of that.
Right.
So with the idea and like topic, I know that you mentioned that you have 18 Nā Hōkū Hanohano nominations and won 2 for graphic design. With that kind of idea, and I'm hoping that I said most of that correctly. I should have ran through that ahead of time.
That's it. Might be, yeah.
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 With that idea, that's definitely something that makes you guys unique as someone that is doing planning and like promotion.
Right.
Let's talk about that and what makes you guys such a unique powerhouse, because I know the shows that you put on are really solid.
You want me to start? Yeah. I mean, we're definitely a unique company. As far as getting into the management, artist booking, event production, having not only the graphic design skills, but the marketing skills. So that's Jill's wheelhouse, is online marketing. Mine would be graphic design, and having that it's a huge asset to any business, really. Whether I'm selling coffee mugs, but have that skill to be able to like develop beautiful mugs and market those mugs and get it out there, build websites, all that kind of stuff, videos, you name it. It's a huge asset, and I think it actually tips us over a little bit, because we're able to, whatever we're doing, again, from events to management to booking, it enables us to take it a little bit, 10 steps further, not just 1 step further, but 10 steps further. Yeah.
And so with your history in marketing, do you want to tell me more about how that helps and makes it unique, and just kind of what your history and background is on that, Jill?
Well, pretty much, you have a great graphic designer who can build you whatever it is you need.
Bricks.
So I'll be like, I need this, and I can get it on the fly. So if I need a Facebook event cover, if I need posters printed, if I need flyers, anything I may need from traditional marketing, from not just online, but from traditional to online marketing, having a graphic designer for a marketer is like a must. Otherwise, I don't know. It would be really hard to get.
It's one less person we have to hire too,
Right.
really, in that aspect.
That's
so
what I was
we're
gonna say,
able to
yeah.
do a lot of stuff without doing that, because and going back to trends, you want a trend right now would be that a lot of bands are going out and they have a video crew and a photo crew, and whether that's part of their label, their management, or whatnot, but they're out on the road with them shooting constantly, because that's their world now, is how they're perceived in social media. There you go. That's the trend.
Right.
So fortunately for us, we're able to kind of be able to do all that stuff a little bit differently, because I think we're a little bit closer to the brands and the bands and the musicians that we work with. We understand it a lot better than another graphic designer that's talented, or a marketer that's talented but doesn't completely understand how to sell that properly. So
yeah, I mean, that's both the trend and what makes you guys so unique is your relationship with the people that you work with. So that's great. Awesome.
We got to meet a guy named Herb Trewick. He's a kind of a legendary music manager. We met him at NAMM, and it was after a performance, and Jill and I got to actually just kind of talk with him, like, ask him a few questions, and he was really, really like supportive of what we did. And the minute he found out that we did marketing and design, branding. He's like, you guys,
branding,
that's
is
where
key
it's at.
too.
That is exactly where it's at. And it was like really great to hear it from a legend like her, which was really cool.
So with the idea of branding and marketing and all of that, and thinking of an event side, let's talk events. Like, if someone wanted to come to you and put an event on, how do they go about doing that? What do you recommend that they come prepared with, or like some ideas of how to be ready to come to you to put on an event?
Probably the best thing to do is to email and to have a unique concept, preferably something you want to showcase that, or it doesn't have to be necessarily unique, but something that maybe is not playing the Friday before, the Friday after, like it's not saturated in, and so that way it will generate more of a reason for people to come to the event, that it's unique and special. And so I would say coming with a good idea of your show and what you want to do, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be a cover night, a Ramones cover night or something, a whole an ukulele Ramones cover night. I'm just saying, throwing ideas out, but to get creative, to to be a creative musician.
There is a difference though between like a show and an event. Like if somebody's coming like, oh, I want to put on a little 3-band event and this is my idea or something like that. It's way different than somebody just coming, hey, this is my music, I want to put on a show.
Right.
And to put on, putting on events isn't easy, at all. I mean, there's a lot of just, if especially going straight to the venue. If you don't have a venue that you can work with, that could make things a lot more difficult. But it's not always easy to do. And it does take time.
So, do you guys also? Yeah, for sure. And with all this in mind, just so that people listening are totally clear on what it is that you guys do you only work with artists and people that are doing that kind of level of thing? Or if a consumer kind of person came with you and said, hey, I have this group that's going to be doing something and we want to, they have a lot more questions as a consumer that wants to put on an event. What do you recommend those people do? Or do you work with those kind of people, and how does that work?
So you mean like if a business came to us and wanted to put on an event?
Sure. Yeah. Or someone was having a party, or yeah.
Absolutely. They can email us and tell us what it is they're looking for. And we have relationships. Scott's got wonderful relationships and with artists all over the island. And, so we can, hear what it is you're looking for and try and plug that in for you.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I know naturally you have lots of relationships with also venues and just a lot of people within the industry. So
yeah, out here too, especially in Hawaii.
Yeah, we started actually doing this because we were managing a band, and it's really hard, I feel like, here as a musician to be a musician full time and to get paid like a living wage for your career. So we were trying to try and change that paradigm a little bit. And so we were doing events up at Gilligan's originally, up until the fire happened. And then after that, we they went to full luau, and we went up to Mulligans. So originally it was really just trying to fulfill a need to be able to pay artists more of the money, because I feel like artists get brought into these restaurants or venues to pack the restaurant so the restaurant gets money. But then there's this small little flat rate that the artist gets for bringing in all these people. And so we wanted to make it like a win-win situation for everybody involved. So when the restaurant wins because it's packed, the artist wins because they sold tickets at the door that they're getting a percentage of that's higher than what a flat rate fee would be for a band. Right. And so really that's how this began, was we were just trying to generate revenue for artists. Yeah. And that's where also merchandise came into play as well, is another revenue generator. So so we designed a lot of merchandise, stickers, shirts, hats, things like that. So that's always great. And that comes into the branding. That's also brings in the branding.
And on this note too, like Jill was actually involved in getting a grant written that is going to be a grant that actually pays musicians directly to play at certain venues. And Jill was very influential in actually getting that grant written and accomplished here on Maui. And it came through. So it's like it's being active. And it has nothing to do with us. Like we had no gains on it. We were just there to help actually facilitate it because it's good for the artists, which is another cool thing. You know, that's another, again, that it's in our I don't know, it's in our soul to like want to like make everybody win, including the venues.
Yeah. Very much like community oriented and event oriented. You guys care a lot about the artists and how things go. And it's very evident in how your shows run and how they're put on. So, and I think that speaks to why they are so fun and so high quality. So
appreciate that.
It's really, really cool.
Thank you.
So when an event is going on, I know that you guys are, from what I've seen, always around. So what is your role in managing that event throughout the day?
Turn your phone off because everybody wants free tickets. Band, turn your phone off. No, I mean we're handling everything. We handle all the ticket sales.
We organize the sound checks. Help assist with the sound, either tech or if they bring in their own sound. Just depends on what they want to do. The band wants to do.
We run sound.
So we help facilitate that, and then really we love Mulligans. Scott has a long history there of doing shows and events there, and so basically we'll help out in any capacity there on a show night that's needed. If you might sometimes see me running drinks, sometimes to the tables, because I used to do that a long time ago. You might see me bussing tables.
It just helps with the overall vibe, which is great. We're there to help, and we're there as a team. Even though we're not employed by Mulligans, but we're there as a team to work with Mulligans
and to have a good experience. Everybody have a good experience and have a good time.
Right.
Enjoy the art. That's there that night. So.
Right. We have a new series that we may be talking about here, but our Aloha Music Series, which are on Wednesdays, which we are even more involved with that because we're selling tables now. So it's getting all the tables set up, making sure the place looks amazing. We're trying to bring the dinner show back that Mulligans once was like famous for, not only with Willie K, but before that, but with Eric Gilliam and Barry Flanagan with Wailea Nights. So we're bringing that vibe back to Wailea, which is exciting.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my next question. So tell me more about that and what that's going to look like and what's going on.
That is starting. The first series is starting at Mulligans. It is not venue specific, but it's basically just a platform to give artists the ability to share their stories through their music. And so what we're looking at right now is artists who have Hawaiian cultural influences, but who are pushing the envelope of that. So it might not be your traditional Hawaiian music,
but it may be.
But it might be. So we have a few artists that we are working with, developing the series with, and each one of them will have their own night. And basically
their own show.
Their own Wednesday. And basically it's their night to be creative, and we'll work with them to develop it. And so if they want to have a special guest or anything like that, they can. So
we're definitely creating a show that's more marketable and sellable and tourable even. So that's another thing that's great about it as well. So we're working with the artist to help develop a show, which is kind of like the next stage after, okay, we developed a ticketing system. Now let's develop a real show. So, yeah.
So
which is exciting.
we have Taimani coming out for the Wednesday, May 15th, and that will be the part of the Aloha Music Series. That'll be the first one in the Aloha Music Series. And so that website will be launching next week.
Tavana will be playing every month, once a month on one of the Wednesdays.
On one of the Wednesdays.
And he's part of that as well.
And then we have Jay and Andrew Molina,
who are amazing.
Yeah, and Andrew Molina is a ukulele virtuoso. He's awesome. And his dad on the bass.
They're storytellers. They're father and son. They've toured the world together. And Andrew is just he's next level ukulele player. He's one of our greats out here. And so we're real excited about that. That's starting, I believe, in July. We'll have the first show with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is there anything that we didn't quite get to? That last question just naturally flowed into the Aloha Music Series. So is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about and touch on before we end this and wrap it up?
Did
so.
Yeah.
It's been nice to catch up with you.
Yeah. Great catching up with you guys.
Dueling pianos. We're going to do this sometime? Yeah. I heard the show was great.
That's good. That's good. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I think that our Aloha story would be a little bit different if we're, trying to tell stories about songs. We'd be like, so there's this song called Piano Man. We've basically written it ourselves because we've played it 8 billion times.
Great.
Yeah. There's a rewritten word for every single word that was originally in the song. So we did something, But we should.
There is one show coming up, or one event coming up that I'm really excited for, and I was not. I didn't think I would be this excited for it, but it's the Beatbox Championship.
The Hawaii Beatbox Championship.
Will be on July 20th, and
Pono
is dropping his videos and stuff of the.
He's a world champion.
He's a world champ, and it's just amazing, and I can't wait for this show because
all ages.
And there's going to be judges. There's surprise judges, and so it's
these guys are so good, and Pono's like one of the greats. He's like obviously he's a world champion. He's like one of the great beatboxers.
Yeah,
and it's just amazing what you guys are doing. Yeah, and it's a lot of young kids getting into it.
Yeah.
For me, it's full circle. Like the minute I started hearing these guys do this, I'm going, "Oh God, the Fat Boys, man!" Like thinking back, like when I was in junior high school, like
they're way more
hearing
advanced
them
now,
do that.
Though.
It's unbelievable what he's doing.
Yeah,
mind blowing. Even two guys, doing it together in a sense, in rhythm with different things going on, just mind blowing.
It is.
Yeah. It'd be a good one.
That one's going to be at Mulligans as well.
20th, Mulligans, July 20th.
Okay. Nice.
Tonight we have Tempa and Na'or at Pro Arts.
Great.
And
another great venue.
Another great venue. So
yes. If you're listening to this podcast, we do also have a podcast with Pro Arts, so go check that one out. I'll just plug that right now with Lynn. That was another great podcast talking about their venue. But thank you guys so much. I come to the shows. I look forward to the shows. They're super fun. And then, for people listening, to kind of sum this up, you guys manage artists and help put on that side of events, which is a really cool thing. So if you're an artist trying to put on an event, these are the people to reach out to. So, or, you're looking for a show to go to.
Too, so we've got a booking division as well.
Great. Or if you're looking for a show to go to, this is also the place to find it. So sometimes you might just get to go see Paul Simon.
You never know.
Yeah.
Lucky you. I came to see Lily Mulan.
I know. That was super cool.
I didn't know Gretchen Rhodes was going to have Marty Dredd hop up and play hits from the bong, I mean, that was awesome. And I didn't know that was going to happen.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time for this.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks.
Aloha.
Talk soon.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Eventful Endeavors, Secrets to Crafting the Perfect Celebration. We hope to have left you with some actionable ideas for your own event. If you like the show, please subscribe and definitely leave us a review. We read every comment. So until next time, happy planning and see you soon on Eventful Endeavors.